Alrighty guys, I hope this is starting to stream live. I'll double check on my other monitor. And the news breaking, the Binance has been hacked. So we'll get into all the details. At the moment, let's just keep an eye on the chart as it is having a bit of a sell-off here. So we always do try to go live when we have these big news events, guys. Smash those likes and share this video around. Wait for a few people to jump in and we'll talk about exactly what's happened and whether or not this is, devastating news. And yeah, what do you guys think? Binance, so far the first details coming out, it's around 7,000 Bitcoins. Which is around $4 million off the top of my head, is that right? 7,000 times 6,000 Bitcoin sounds about right. So Bitcoin has dropped from around 5,900 on the non-tether exchanges, probably a smaller percentage on the tether exchanges here, but look, at the moment it's not too bad considering if you had the headline come out, Binance has been hacked, I think a lot of people would be panicking big time, and that hasn't quite happened yet. So I'm just going to let everyone know that I am going live, guys. And I'll just tweet this out. Going live to discuss the Binance hack. Cool. So how are we all today, guys? I'll keep an eye on your comments as always as they come in. So thanks for joining us, Brett, Ben, Alec, Tony. A lot of the funds are safe food, for sure. Is this BS? No, it's not, unfortunately, guys. Binance has been hacked. Oh, sorry, geez, it is too early. I've got to finish my coffee. 6,000 Bitcoin, $6,000 Bitcoin times 7,000 been stolen is $42 million. So still not a lot in the grand scheme of things, but let's read through this article in just a second. So we've got 200 tuning in. Welcome, guys. I always try to jump on live when these big things happen. So let's have a look. So we discovered a large-scale security breach on the 7th of May. So hackers were able to perform what sounds like pretty complicated hacks, obtaining those API keys, which lets users join their mobile account or their trading account to another website and whatnot, as well as their two-factor codes and other info. So they've used a variety of techniques, including phishing, redirecting people to the wrong websites, viruses, and all sorts of attacks, and they're still concluding the possible methods and how many accounts have been affected and whatnot. So sounds like it's pretty complicated stuff to get all that, then wait patiently, and then strike all at once to withdraw 7,000 Bitcoin in one transaction. Personally, I would have thought that Binance would have had another security layer or time delay or something before letting someone withdraw 7,000 Bitcoin in one transaction, but I'm sure they're going to up their security practices. But this is the good news, that it only impacted their Bitcoin hot wallet. That's the wallet where they have online available, compared to all the coins or your hodlings that are in cold storage offline, so they can't be touched. So look, this is a way that best security practices can limit the damage. So their hot wallet only contained 2% of all Bitcoins, and all other wallets are unaffected and secure, as I just touched on then. So hackers used a lot of patience, well-orchestrated actions, and multiple independent accounts and the most opportune time. So yeah, they were able to bypass all Binance's security checks and were not able to block this withdrawal before it was executed. Again, I'm really surprised that would happen. So, importantly, deposits and withdrawals are suspended. They think this is going to take about a week for the dust to settle, and they'll give us some more updates and whatnot. So we will continue to enable trading, but they just don't want any deposits and withdrawals happening in that time. No one is going to be affected. They will dip into that Seifu fund, that portion of all fees that they put off to the side in case things like these ever happen. So guys, there's not too much to worry about there. Let's zoom out on our charts, and shorts continue to go up, guys. This is really crazy here. Even when something, I'm going to talk about where we are in the big picture, but when something like this happens, the fact that we haven't gone down a lot further tells me that we are far more likely to be in a bull market at the moment. So there's a lot of mess on these charts. The blue and the orange are my longs and shorts. Don't worry too much about all that clutter, guys. But what's important is when we zoom in here, we've fallen off a cliff, but it's nothing too bad considering. And I think that's because people are now digesting the fact that $42 million for Binance is really a drop in the ocean, as crazy as that sounds for you or I. So perfect timing for the Bitcoin retrace. Will this affect the entire market? Putting a Bitcoin on a centralized exchange is beyond me. So yep, definitely guys, Ledger and Trezors, links below, have your crypto safe. But a lot of people like to trading. We have to be realistic. A lot of people want to trade. Tuning in, is the title clickbait? No, Binance has been hacked. How much is in the Seifu funds? Good question. I believe they put 0.25% of all trading fees in there. Anyway, I think it would be in the hundreds of millions of dollars of Bitcoin if they ever need to cover a hack. So more than enough to cover this little hack. So if I was a trader, guys, we're already oversold on the 15-minute RSI. I think this is a sort of thing where people are going to read it and panic because of the headline. Unfortunately, it's true. Binance has been hacked. But if we stop and think about it, you know, it's not a huge deal. So as a trader, personally, I'm starting to scan and see what gets oversold the most, and I'm probably looking to put a trade on here if I'm being really honest. But let's wait until we get really, really oversold. So that 5-minute RSI down to 13. And this is going to tell us a lot about the overall market at the moment, because if we know we've had this tremendous run, and we've literally just flicked over the daily candle, which is crazy. These things, it's always too much of a coincidence, guys. So we've just had a gravestone doji candle here. We've got a big wick. A lot of people talking about this. This being, let's just get rid of my fibs there for a second, guys. A lot of people talking about this divergence. I covered this in the video the other night, and we have got a bit of divergence on the RSI, and a lot of people are looking for a bit of a correction to happen at the moment. So the fact that we've sort of got that topping candle, this is a turning point. It can signify a change in direction, but we'd still have to have follow through. And even if we do, I'll be looking down here into our moving averages as support, because I think the market's going to realize that this isn't a big deal. Now, if we get through today, the next few hours, and everyone digesting the news and realizing that this isn't a big deal, you'd have to stop and say, well, hold on, we've had this tremendous run off the bottom since we spoke about this Adam and Eve double bottom and this inverted head and shoulders. It ended up playing out pretty nicely. We've had this huge run. Everyone's waiting for this pullback. So I'm going to do a video soon. I'm not sure if it's going to be a YouTube video or for members, talking about what to do if you miss the bottom. And I think there's still a chance that we have a choppy and a bit of a correction over the coming weeks, but it just seems to me like everyone is waiting to buy that. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Is everyone waiting to buy this dip? And when we look at things like how high the shorts have risen, the longs are near the lows, they are the perfect ingredients for the market to go higher when we don't have everyone betting that it's going to happen, and when we have all these shorts acting as fuel. And we're right at that sort of key level where we need all those shorts to burn. The RSI is diverging, but this is the time when we would think the market would start to roll over and give a little bit back, and it just hasn't really happened yet. So a lot of people are still, battling bulls versus bears. Are we going up? We're going down. We're still going to 1,000. Some people saying that we're going to go sideways and lower for 2 or 3 years. Just as we have at the top people telling you Bitcoin's going to go to 100,000 and 1,000,000 and all those wild numbers, we have the same at the bottom, guys. And the truth is always somewhere in between. Mike Novogratz retweeted me about the Binance, or the other day Mike was kind enough to retweet. Oh yeah, Mike's been good to me lately. Actually, he retweeted a couple of my tweets. I've been trying to get Mike Novogratz on the channel. So 2% is a lot when you're the world's largest crypto exchange. No way to spin this as good. Will certainly bring more scrutiny from regulators. Yeah, I'm not sure if I completely agree with that. I guess the thing to come out of this is, what can you really do if you have these best practices and you have your hot wallets and then they still get hacked? And longs have just dropped even more here. Yeah, so that's the problem that needs to be solved for Binance and all these exchanges now. How do we enable API trading? How can we do all this and still have hot wallets and allow our trading and APIs and not get hacked? Because you'd think that Binance would have to have some of the best security practices in the world. And if they've been able to be compromised, then it makes you think about some of the second tier exchanges, the lesser exchanges. If they were targeted with a similar attack, they'd be probably even more vulnerable. So how do we go on the RSI here, guys? We've got that big sell-off. We've got a bit of a wick. We got down to 5,650, and on the Tether exchanges, still above 6,000. So, guys, a lot of people ask me why I still look at Tether and the Bitfinex. I still believe that Bitfinex is where the majority of real trading volume happens. A lot of people disagree with that, but BitMEX is those contracts on 100 times leverage. That's not really real trading volume. A lot of traders, a lot of the big whales, they've been using Bitfinex for 4 or 5 years. It's the only place you can short a lot of coins in the top 10 or 20. There's decent trading volume there. There's enough leverage if you're a whale. So, yeah. Okay, let's time to read some comments. What do you guys think about all this? Unfortunately, Nugget was pretty much full bull-tard last year and he's still being bullish now. It's stupid. Yeah, I guess I'm a bit of a perma-bull because of how excited I am for the future of cryptocurrency. But yeah, the market went lower than I thought last year for sure. Silver Jaguar. All these exchanges pumping Bitcoin are exiting soon. Useless Tether. I think the fact that Tether and Bitfinex came out and said that, hey, we're 74% back, even that was higher than a lot of people thought, and they admitted that other chunk that's missing is locked up in that bank crypto capital. So I think all those conspiracy theories about Tether being printed and not being backed by anything, it's just not true, guys. They've shown us what they've got backing it. Hey guys from the Central Coast. You should be able to trade from your wallet without putting your coins on the exchange. That's exactly what a DEX is, a decentralized exchange, and they're increasing in popularity. Do I think your funds will be safer? I definitely think that your funds will be safer, guys. Binance aren't going to let anyone take your funds. They've already said in this announcement here that their safer funds will cover... Is that still streaming? Cool. Sorry, guys. Their safer funds will cover any losses. So I'm not sure if we can find out the value of the safer funds. But either way, there's more than enough money in there. Binance, a multi-billion-dollar company, they can cover these hacks. So on the 5-minute chart, this is a little bit of a bounce playing out now, but there's not a lot of volume here. So normally we see, a bit of a bear flag on the 5-minute chart, and then markets might roll over and have another little leg down. It just depends how everyone is digesting this news on Twitter. how did Binance Coin itself react? And it's always funny to watch how Binance gets hacked. Bitcoin is the coin that's affected, and yet Binance Coin will fall. Now, why? The reason that Binance Coin is falling harder than others is because, in theory, this will cause a small percentage of people to not trust Binance as much or move off the exchange, which decreases their trading volumes. And the token is linked to the value of everything that happens on Binance. So let's just zoom out a little bit. Binance Coin on the dailies had an absolutely tremendous run, and if you're waiting for a pullback to buy it, it was probably going to be somewhere down here. Look, even if with this bad news, Binance might not get down to this buy zone of sort of $18 to $16 in the weekly moving averages, but you just never know, do you? Binance has been a stellar performer. Maybe conspiracy theorists will say that they've been hacked, they've been targeted because they are number one. They're so good. So really, if we look across the board, most altcoins look to me to be only down 1-2%. Bitcoin is only down 0.5%. On news that the world's largest exchange has been hacked. So that kind of tells you guys the strength in the market. And again, don't mind my blue and orange lines going everywhere. I've got my shorts versus longs on here because I think that is going to be the biggest catalyst if we can get through 6,000. And maybe this is the pause that the market needs just for a day or two. Is this the only dip that we're going to get that everyone's been waiting for? Thanks for tuning in, guys. We've got nearly 500 watching. Binance has been hacked. A range of measures used. 7,000 Bitcoin at $6,000 each, $42 million. And it's got everyone talking on Twitter. Crypto BitLord is one of our favorites. It's 2012 all over again. The FUD is designed to shake you out. That's pretty true. When the big boys are saying that this is bad, like the Mike Novogratz of the world, look, I'm really starting to wonder if all these attacks on Tether are a few of the other exchanges. A lot of these centralized exchanges in particular. Gemini have been, in bed with the US regulators and trying to get people to use their coin. If more people use their coin, they make more money. Second time that the API keys have been breached. So, yeah, that's a good question by Omar then. Binance got hacked. I'm trying to remember when it was. I think I went live that time as well. But, how can you, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice. Yeah, they need to fix that. What do you guys think? Are you going to continue to use Binance? Are you going to continue to use the API keys and plug in, or have they, this is the final time they've lost your trust? So a nice big buying wick starting to form here. Not a lot of volume coming in though. Are we going to roll over and have one more panic leg lower? Smash that like button, guys. Share this around. But don't panic. Binance are going to replace your funds if you were affected. Not a breach, it's an inside job, says Imran. I'm not sure if Binance will do this to themselves, if it's going to affect their public perception and Binance token. So Binance continues to fall off a cliff, the Binance token here. A lot of people have been waiting to buy the dip on this one, so let's see how this one reacts. So this is so hard for people to decide where they want to trade. A lot of people love Bitfinex's trading engine and all the coins it has, and then there's the Tether rumors. And now people love Binance. And let's be honest, guys, if they keep getting hacked, less people are going to want to use them in future. Hence the BNB coin is selling off. So I guess this does highlight the fact that even the best practices and the biggest exchanges are still vulnerable. This is the current state of crypto as it is, unfortunately. let's just hide my longs and shorts. Clear that chart up a little bit. And are people going to step in and buy this $20 dip on Binance Coin? Let's see what else CZ and the guys have been saying, or the comments here. Not the best days, but we'll stay transparent. Yeah, that is good of them, I guess. What's the date today? The 8th. So it says it did happen 5 p.m. on the 7th. So this was yesterday, but still not great. Have to perform some unscheduled server maintenance that will impact deposits and withdrawals. No need for FUDs. Funds are safer. So 2 hours ago, CZ said no need for FUD, and then an hour later, comes out and says that they've been breached. At least they've been transparent about it now. Right, BNB, $20, the big round $20 number. Are we going to get there? Then are we going to see the buyers step in? So since this news has sort of come out, Binance is down around 10%. Are you guys selling your BNB coins? It's had a tremendous run from, I think, $4 earlier on this year when we did our Binance fundamental analysis to $26, I think it got to. So someone was saying, was it phishing or was it hacked? So it was a combination. So what they said here, guys, was that they've used a variety of methods to obtain API keys, two-factor authentication, and other info. So phishing sites, redirecting people to the wrong website, viruses to infect your computer, to copy all your keystrokes and whatnot, and other attacks. So pretty advanced stuff, and it makes me think that a lot of other exchanges could be vulnerable if Binance is vulnerable. But why have they allowed a 7,000 Bitcoin transaction to go through in one withdrawal? That's the sort of red flag for me. Surely you stop that, or you have someone run their eyes over it or whatnot. So yeah, deposits and withdrawals suspended for 1 week. Any other news that's coming out about this, guys? Let me know. Let's have a look at the Binance wallet. Wow, a lot of 7,070 Bitcoins to a range of addresses there as well. Interesting. Well, that's what we can do with the blockchain, isn't it? Will BNB recover? Well, it all depends on their confidence and what the follow-up report is the important thing. So whatever CZ and Binance come out and say, this is why it happened, this is how it happened, once they do their report and give us all an update on why this can happen a second time. Because remember, Binance got hacked. I'm not sure if it was 2018 or 2017. I think it was 2018, wasn't it? Just when everything seemed to be going bad for us. Interesting that Bitcoin's only fallen 1% and Binance is down 10%. Oh, it's a few more percent than that, sorry, to be fair. Good. What is a good DEX? We've done videos on a few. Again, I'm hesitant to recommend Binance DEX because I don't think it's a good DEX, but well, what ones have you guys used that you like? Personally, I've done videos on Radar Relay, anything that's built on 0x I really like, Kyber, Bancor, those sort of ones I've done tutorials on for you guys. And they don't have every token, but they've got a good variety, decent volume if you're only after a few hundred, maybe a few $1,000s of altcoins. But at the moment, we just don't have that ability to buy huge amounts on DEXs because the volume is not there. But that's all going to change in the next bull market as well. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Smash that like button. Let me know if you've got any questions you want answered. CZ's doing an AMA. Nash Exchange is another DEX someone likes. Saturn DEX, I've never heard of that. Anomalous says it's a clickbait title. So Binance have been hacked, and I've got the title of my video as Binance has been hacked, but it's clickbait. I don't normally do clickbait, guys, but this is just a fact that Binance has been hacked. Look at Bitcoin dominance. So let's go over to CoinMarketCap. Dominance back up to 56%. Let's zoom in and have a look from the lows. It's good to see that. I think a lot of people, this is why I love charts and psychology. So if you have a look at this chart and Bitcoin dominance, you can kind of see that, Bitcoin was the kingpin back in the day, and then we sort of had other altcoins come along. In 2017, a lot of euphoria, chop and change. Bitcoin was king, FOMO, people take profits of altcoins and back and forth. But I think what crypto winter has sort of shown is that a lot of people have realized that they own some shitcoins, that they got into the wrong project. They didn't do fundamental analysis and research. And I'm seeing a lot of people tell me, I'm moving my portfolio into Bitcoin. I used to be no Bitcoin or 10% Bitcoin, and now I'm 50% Bitcoin. And I really think that, me personally, I've got the majority of my portfolio in Bitcoin and Ethereum. We've said that from day one, that altcoins are for speculating, guys, and honestly for taking profits when something goes to the moon. So too many people still have 20%, 30% of their portfolio in one altcoin, and if it goes wrong, if it goes to zero, but if that's the risk you're willing to take, then so be it. But for me personally, 1% is all I'll ever invest in altcoin. If it goes up tenfold or 100-fold, take your profits and put it back into your Bitcoin, increase your holdings. I've done a lot of videos about that. Certain antiviruses be better than others. I guess all I can say there, guys, is have your stuff up to date. Antivirus software, VPNs, two-factor authentication, best security practices. That's all you can really do, guys. But the number one thing is have the majority of your crypto in a hardware wallet. I've got that many different types around. Store them somewhere else as well if that's what you're worried about. But having the majority of your crypto online is just that huge risk, isn't it? Well, guys, that's half an hour just about. That has absolutely flown by. Looking at this at the moment, you'd probably have to say we're going to have some chop around here, because there just hasn't been the bulls show up. This isn't likely going to be a V-shaped recovery, because the fact is that this is going to leave a lot of questions and a lot of discussions about how safe Binance is and other exchanges. But in summary, I guess it is not the end of the world. It wasn't a huge amount. It's not 30% of all Bitcoin on Binance or in circulation that would absolutely tank the market. And the market's, a lot of people saying it's near a temporary top, it's near resistance, so we need to have some sort of pullback. So the fact that this hasn't been devastating just yet is also a bit of a positive, and tells me that sentiment has changed, that the market has got a newfound confidence and newfound strength, more buyers coming in, and consistent pressure putting it upwards. But let's see. I'll keep you guys up to date, and want to do a video about what to do if you feel you've missed the bottom, and what I see unfolding. So guys, head to nuggetsnews.com.au if you want more info on everything we do. Otherwise, thanks for tuning in. Talk again soon.